Hello, welcome to another Dominion 6 Mod Nation showcase. Today we are taking a look at middle-aged New Fountainhead, Heavenly Forge. This nation is based on the unreleased Forge faction for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the Armageddon's Blade. You know, the one that got replaced by Conflux. In Might and Magic 7, there was an ending when the Heavenly Forge got repaired, causing the creation of various cybernetic beings. Canonically, this should be late-age Deja, not middle-aged New Fountainhead, but I decided to keep the nations together, so I made them an offshoot of Deja. Also, I decided to call it New Fountainhead because Fountainhead is a starting town in Might and Magic 3, the Isles of Terra, and the 4 founders of this nation are from Terra. So that's, I think, lore appropriate. Let's check the starting site. 1 fire, 1 air, 1 water gem, 2 death gems, and 50 resources. The units. First we have the Grunt. This is a goblin with a sword and a blaster. Blasters are armor-piercing fire weapons. They only have leather armor. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same as normal humans. I guess normal goblins, as they have wasteland survival. Foot soldiers have a dagger and blaster instead of a short sword and blaster. And they have plate cuirass, so they have a worse melee weapon but better armor. And they also have blasters. The Stinger is an ogre modified cybernetically. He has a crowbar for melee combat, spurs for armor, and a Stinger missile that can be fired once but creates a large explosion. That's cool. They have wasteland survival as well, and they are quite strong otherwise. The Bruiser also is an ogre, but instead of a single shot explosive missile, he has shoulder missile pods, something like the Revenants from Doom. They fire 2 attacks per shot, 2 shots per attack. They do crushing damage and a follow-up armor-piercing fire. This is not an area attack. And they have 8 ammunition for 8 shots, so 16 shots. Okay, they also have crowbars and plate cuirass instead of furs. Jump Soldier is a Minotaur with a jetpack harness. So he can fly, he can trample, he can recuperate, and he has razor claws for melee weapons and gore. Otherwise they have size 4, protection, natural protection 4, strength 16, but the skills are not very good. The Jump Trooper has slightly better skills, and a half helmet and a heavy jetpack harness that provides more protection. Otherwise, oh wait, the horn attack also is better. They are iron-tipped horns. They cost a lot. Everything costs a lot here. The Pyro is a goblin with a flamethrower. Has a reinforced leather cap, a plate cuirass, and a flamethrower. That is basically the fire flare of a salamander, but non-magical. And they have some minor fire resistance. Then we have the tanks. A tank is a Naga on threads. Naga wields 2 short-range blasters that can be used in melee too. And the chainsaw, that's a 2-handed armor-piercing weapon. So the tanks deal a lot of damage. They are resistant to poison, they have trample, they do not have inanimate and all that because that's actually a living cybernetic being. and they are susceptible to shock. And they cost a lot. See, 90 gold, 46 resources, 50 recruitment points. You will not be able to build many of them. The heavy tank costs even more, well, the same number of gold, but 66 resources. Instead of 2 blasters, she has a Gatling gun that fires 10 shots per attack and deals some, well, armor. But that's not armor piercing. Yeah, that's just weak piercing damage. So they're basically 10 slingers in one that can trample. The capital only unit is the Sacred Desolator. Also costs a lot. It's a size 4 being, that's a human or a goblin in a power armor. Has a combat warhammer that deals blunt damage, and a diamond tipped combat drill that deals piercing damage. 2 attacks that deal a lot of damage. They are sacred, they are invulnerable because they have a force screen, susceptible to shock, and they have ambidextrous. Their protection is decent, even without invulnerability. Commanders. The assassin drone. You can see the... Wait, it's a floating one? No. Yes, it's a floater. So, it has a bite, a sting that deals weak poison, and an electro laser that also deals fatigue damage, reduced for large targets. I know it says Spirit Strike, but that's an appropriate effect. Because they are actually robotic, they have poor amphibians, susceptible to shock, poison resistance, inanimate, need not eat, flying, stealthy, dark vision, assassin, and scale walls. So they are pretty good assassins with 3 attacks. The Cyborg is a good commander that has the invulnerable 2 because thanks to the force field generator, susceptible to shock, fire resistant, cold resistant, dark vision. That's the night vision goggles. Broadsword, blaster, and plate cuirass. The cyber priest is, well, a priest with a blaster, night vision goggles, and a force screen. Then we have the mages. The Necroshaper is a Air 1 Death 1 mage with resource bonus 5 and a rare random of air or death magic. She has a dagger. You see, she is modeled after the Dajan Necromancers. And she has a retinue of 1 cyber dead. We'll take a look at them later. The Pyromaniac has a flamethrower, a plate cuirass, and a 1 level of fire magic. Power Alchemist. Fire 2, Water 1, 50% to get either fire or water. And fire explosion on death because this power pack that he's carrying on the back is explosive. Has a dagger and a blaster. The Cyber Mage. Fire 1, Water 2, a guaranteed fire, air, earth or water random. Also has a force screen, susceptible to shock, fire resistance, cold resistance, and dark vision thanks to the night vision goggles. A Necrosculptor. Air 1 Death 2 Mage with a 20% chance to get a level of air or death. As a healer, because she can replace lost limbs or organs with necromantic or cybernetic grafts, and a resource bonus of 8, and a rating of 1 cyber dead. A Nuclear Alchemist. Starts old. He is a Fire 2 Water 1 Death 1 mage with a guaranteed Fire Air Death, Fire Water Death random, and a rare Fire random. He also has a Fire Explosion on Death, and since he's a Nuclear Alchemist, he also has a Disease Explosion of death, so he irradiates everyone. And the capital only slow to recruit commander is the Forge Caretaker, who costs a lot, has Fire 1, Air 1, Water 2, Death 2, a guaranteed Fire, Air, Water, Death, and a rare random. Also has a Force screen, susceptibility to shock, fire resistance, cold resistance, dark vision, starts old, Master Smith, resource bonus 10, and fire explosion on death. He has only the diamond tipped combat drill and a blaster. Now let me load the showcase version. The summons. On construction 2, we have the construct cyber dead spell. That's a death 1 air 1 spell. For 2 gems you summon 6 plus cyber dead. These are zombies, soulless zombies with chainsaws. They are poor amphibian, susceptible to shock, cold resistant, poison resistant, undead, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, dark vision, and undisciplined. In construction 3 you have construct cyber zombies. That's a death 2 air 1 spell. For 4 gems you summon 6 cyber zombies. They have 2 attacks, 2 circular saws that deal slash and armor piercing damage. Otherwise they are the same. In construction 4 you have construct dreadnought. That's a death 3 air 1 spell. For 5 gems you summon 1 dreadnought. It's this mechanical tank thing that has 2 circular saws and a missile pod, just like that ogre bruiser. It has poor amphibian, force screen that gives invulnerable 18, susceptibility to shock, fire resistance, cold resistance, poison resistance, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, dark vision, and ambidextrous. You also get additional spells that let you summon more of these dudes. In construction 6 you construct Legions of the Dead. That's a death 4 air 2 spell. For 15 gems you summon 20 plus cyber dead and 10 cyber zombies. In construction 9 you get the Unleash Armory spell. That's a death 6 air 1 spell. For 30 gems you summon 40 plus cyber dead, 20 cyber zombies, and 5 dreadnoughts. And now let's take a look at the heroes. You have 4 heroes that you may know as NPCs from Might and Magic 7 or playable characters of Might and Magic 3. First, Darkshade, the Gnome Assassin, who has 2 poison daggers, leather armor, a weak force screen, stealthy, assassin, dark vision, scale walls. Just an assassin. Maximus, the half-orc knight, has a great sword of sharpness, enchanted helmet, and ancient armor that gives 20 protection. He is a very good leader with dark vision 50 and inspirational 2. Cosmonium sorcerer, that's Castor, an elven sorcerer, has a magic staff and a blaster and ancient armor. He is a fire 2, air 2, water 2, earth 2 mage with dark vision. So a very good mage and a very good leader. And Tolberti, the dark advisor, that's actually not a playable character from Might and Magic 3, but a recruitable NPC. Hireling. Has a dagger and a blaster, ancient armor, and he is an Astral 3 mage with fortune teller and inspiring researcher, because he is an advisor. Before we check the pretenders, let's take a look at the items. We have 4 national items. On construction 1 you can construct a wetsuit, that is a water breathing granting item. On constructions 3 you can construct a control cube that gives inspiration 1, increases the leadership of all 3 kinds by 40, decreases unrest, and provides a chance to return from Inferno and other planes. In construction 1 you also get a blaster That's a one-handed ranged weapon. And in Construction 3 you get a two-handed blaster rifle that deals a lot of fire damage. And now let's take a look at the pretenders. I think we only have like two national pretenders. Where is it? Yes, the Rust Dragon. Monster from my Heroes of Might and Magic 3. He has a Dragon Bite, Claw, Tail Sweep, and Dragon Bile, an acidic area attack. Water 1, Earth 1. Fear, Fire Resistance, Acid Resistance, Flying, Mountain Survival, Inept Smith, Inept Researcher, and he cannot shapeshift. And the Cyber Lich, who is an Air 1 Death 2 Mage, Amphibian, Pierce Resistance, Invulnerable 15, Susceptibility to Shock, Cold Resistant, Poison Resistant, Undead, Inanimate, Need Not Eat, Immortality, and Spirit Side. And that is it. So, this nation actually did see some play in multiplayer in Dominions 5. It was fine. I have received some feedback in Dominion 6 saying that in single player, this nation wrecks the AI thanks to the tanks the other AI struggles dealing with. But in multiplayer, it's probably absolutely fine. So that's not the end yet. I have at least two more Might and Magic factions to show off. So I'll see you next time.